Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a pleasure to have you with us. Do remember, in fact, on Patreon at the moment, you could have a look at my attempt at the crossword that Simon did in the Times Crossword Masterclass yesterday. If you watch that, you'll know he struggled over the last word, and you can see my attempt at the puzzle on Patreon if you're interested. I speedrun it, so there's not a full explanation of all the clues as Simon did. So there's obviously no time comparison to be done. But some people have still found it interesting. So that's there on Patreon, along with us playing the Blueprint Sudoku by VFig and collaborating in a solve of it. And it still took us somewhere around 2 hours. That's an extraordinary puzzle and quite an extraordinary solve in some ways. And, of course, Sandra and Nala's Bug Friends Sudoku Hunt, which is the April Patreon reward. No April Fool involved, just Nala, Sandra's dog, seeking out bugs and having the greatest fun on walks, as dogs are wont to do. So do check that out. A lot of fog in that, just as there's fog in the puzzle I have on screen today. And, of course, we have apps, which include a Fog of War app, and they also include Classic Sudoku 2 and the Worms. So loads going on. Do check out all the links under the video. There's merch as well. We've got this new Rat Run merch designed by Marty Sears to commemorate his own puzzles. We suggested he design some merch, and he's absolutely done it. There's some great stuff, mugs and coasters and mouse pads, as well as T-shirts and hoodies and loads of things. So do check out the merch now. The supplier is good these days. They get things to people quite quickly, which you wouldn't have thought was impossible, but they're doing it. That's great. Now, let's have a look at, this is a new setter, Hanks, and the puzzle is called Red Light, Green Light, and he promises us 2 new types of line. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. That means 1 to 9 will go in every row, column, and box. And we have some dynamic fog, which may clear away if we place certain correct digits. Now, all digits on a red line are distinct. And furthermore, any three, not necessarily adjacent digits, x, y, z, on a red line, satisfy the triangle inequality, meaning that x plus y is greater than z, y plus z is greater than x, and z plus x is greater than y. For any 3 digits on a red line, you can add 2 of them and be bigger than the other one. Now, that's probably a maths thing that I haven't heard of. Now, what's worse, though, for me, is that the green lines are anti-triangle lines. All digits on a green line are distinct, and furthermore, any 3 not necessarily adjacent distinct digits A, B, and C on the line do not satisfy the triangle inequality. Okay, the sum of the 2 smaller digits. Oh, I see. That's a very interesting way to put it. I like this more. The sum of the 2 smaller digits in ABC is less than or equal to the largest digit in ABC. I mean, I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to do this, but let's try. Let's get cracking. Right. I mean, I'm obviously going to have to think about what the implications of these rules are to make any start at all. So let's think about some 5-cell lines, because there is a 4-cell line. Now, maybe I meant to start on the green line. Maybe I meant to start on a combination of the red lines. Maybe I meant to start on the 4-cell line. Very hard to know. My initial feeling is the 4-cell line is much less constrained than the 5-cell lines, because there are only 4 combinations of digits on that line that have to obey the rules. Whereas on these 5-cell lines, I think there are probably 10. For every 3 digits that are included in a pass at the rule, there are 2 digits that are excluded, and That's 1 pair. I'm pretty sure the number is 10 if I remember my combinations and permutations. 3, 4. Yeah, it does look like that's right. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There are 10 different combinations of 2 cells. Okay. Well, I mean, that is not helping anyway. There are obviously millions of possible combinations of digits on lines, which isn't very helpful. All the digits are different. We know that. Okay. Right, I'm going to think about the red lines first, because this inequality, so we have to disobey, for the triangle inequality line, any 3 satisfy the triangle inequality, so that the 2 smallest of those 3 equal more. Is it more? Yeah, it's more than the biggest. Well, that's very interesting. So I don't think we can have 1 and 2 on the line. So I'm thinking about the 2 smallest digits. I don't think we can have 1 on the line. Do you know why? Because 1 plus x must, 1 plus the next smallest digit on the line can't get higher than the next digit on the line. So 1 can't be on these red lines. I think it's quite difficult for 2 to be on them, and I don't think it is going to be. Okay, the reason I think that is because you can have a 2, 3, 5, no, a 2, 3, 4 combination, and the 2 smallest add up to more than the biggest. That's fine. And that's what has to happen. But you can't then have another combination with 2. But I'm now eyeing this portion of the grid, and I'm worried that we shouldn't go too much above 3. So I'm now saying my next claim is that 3 is potentially the, well, let's examine whether 3 can be the smallest digit on the line. And let's say the digits on the line were 3 and the highest 4 digits. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. This fails because 3 plus 6 equals 9. So that does fail. So 3 is not on these lines. That is really interesting. 1, 2, and 3 are not on these lines. We're selecting on a 5-cell red line from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What's more, 4, 5, and 9 can't be on the line because that would be one possible combination of x, y, z. And x plus y would equal z. So, however, I am not prepared to countenance both of these lines being 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because all of these digits would be 1, 2, 3, 4, including 5 of them in box 1, and that's impossible. So I'm now using Sudoku as well, and that makes me feel better. But so therefore, they're not both 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Therefore, at least one of these lines does have a 4 on it. But that line cannot have a 5 on it. It could be both of them. And once you start with 4, 6, it's okay. Any 2 digits are going to be higher than any other digit. So that's all right. Okay, so they can't both not have 4. Can they both have 4 and not 5? Then they would be, yeah, okay. I'm saying a line can't have 4 and 5. Oh, but hang on. It might not have 9 on. It could be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the minimum 2 are greater than the greatest. Okay. All right. This is more difficult. I'm correct in my restriction of these sets, or am I? Have I thought about starting with a 3 and not having a 9? Am I? I mean, let's think about that. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 plus 5 equals 8. Okay, so it's okay. The 3 case holds. I can't put 3 on these. Right, so now I am in the world where 1, 2, and 3 have to be in that group of cells, but also in this group of cells. Obviously, in this box, only that digit can contribute to both sets of 1, 2, 3. If neither of these next two in the row or column contributed to 1, 2, 3, there wouldn't be enough of them. So one of those is from 1, 2, 3. One of those is from 1, 2, 3. That is definitely from 1, 2, 3. And these two are also from 1, 2, 3. And then this domino is one digit from 1, 2, 3, and one digit that isn't needed on this line. And that cannot be 6, 7, or 8, because we would have a line with 4, 5, and 9 on. So the digit not needed on the line is either 4, 5, or 9. And the makeup of the red line is either 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To avoid having 4, 5, and 9 on the line. They are the possible excluded digits. Okay, so these can have a digit from 1, 2, 3, each of these dominoes, and they do, but they also have a digit from 4, 5, or 9. And those two digits are different because they're in box 1. So these are different combos. I mean, I think I may have established that before, but I'm re-establishing it now. This red line actually is somewhat tightly clustered. What on earth are you talking about, Mark? What I'm talking about is, again, you couldn't have 2 low digits and a 9 on this line. So if you have any low digits, you have to avoid high digits. And you can't have 4 and 5. I mean, I don't know. I don't. Maybe it's not worth thinking about that line yet. These are just aide memoirs. I should yellow them. Now, maybe it's time to think about the green line, because I finally came up with how to think about the 5-cell red line, and it got confusing. But we got there. We worked out the 3 possible combos of 5-cell red lines. So, what is a green line? An anti-triangle line. All digits are distinct. Any 3 digits on the line do not satisfy the inequality. So the sum of the 2 smallest in any group of 3 is less than the largest. Well, this time I think we want 1 and 2 involved, because I don't know what is going on this line. There are 3 digits. Let's assume the 2 highest digits on the line are B and C. The other 3 digits are all candidates for A, and they must add to B to give less than or equal to C. And B, which I'm now saying is the 4th highest digit on the line, has to therefore be at least 4. And if you add 3 to 4, then C is at least 7. So if you had 1, 2, 3, 4 and 7, well, I think you've got other problems then, because 2, 3, and 4 do not satisfy the rule. Oh, so you're going to have 1, 2, 3. Then you have to go up to 5 because that's what 2 and 3, the highest two of those, can make. But then you can add 5 to any of the others and get 6, 7, or 8. So the last digit is an 8 or a 9. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 5, 9. I'm thinking might pass this test. Oh, there's also a possibility of 1, 2, 3, 6, 9. So the way I'm thinking about that is you need some low digits because lots of these digits have to combine. The two lowest will always include A if it's on the line, B if it's on the line, but there's another case. I'm now calling the digits A, B, C, D, E in order. Forget my ... A, B, C. That was silly. I'm calling the digits as they ascend in numerical order, A, B, C, D, E. And D has to be, the issue I was having is that D has to not only be as big as B plus C, but it has to then add to any of A, B, and C to give E. So there are these gaps forming where C has to add to B to give D. And the reason you couldn't not have 1, 2, 3 is if you started with 1, 2, 4, the next lowest, 4 plus 2 equals 6. So if you had B, C, D, you would need at least a 6. But C plus D there equals 10, and that takes us outside the range. So I think these are the possible green lines. Actually, why don't I make them green and these red? Because that's what they are. For a 5-cell line, these are the combos that are possible. Now, on this line, what have we said about 1, 2, 3s? There's one there, there's one in this domino, there's one in this domino. There's none in these cells. So these two are not from 1, 2, 3, but we need 1, 2, 3 on the line. So these three are a set of 1, 2, 3. Then these other two cells are either 5, 8, 5, 9, or 6, 9. These reds, what did we say? We said they're from 4, 5, or 9. The missing, well, they're not reds. Sorry, they're non-red cells, but they're in the rows with reds. They are from 4, 5, and 9. Now, that means this can't be a 5, 9 pair. So this one is ruled out for this green line. It must therefore be one of these sets, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, or 1, 2, 3, 6, 9. And therefore 4 is used here in one of these cells. And whether that's in row 1 or column 1, 4 being used there means that that line must be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's definitely in use as one of these two red lines. I'm going to have to think about this line. It's annoying, but there it is. We're going to have to consider it. I mean, that's presumably why it's revealed. If we didn't have to think about it, it probably wouldn't be exposed in the fog. A 4-cell red line has a lot fewer constraints on it. However, we do now know it doesn't have 1, 2, and 3 because that cell would be broken. But the two lowest digits, let's just put in the lowest case. We know that it doesn't have 1, 2, and 3. So we'll start it with 1, 2, and 4, the lowest case. And then the 4th digit on the line would have to be at least 6. Am I thinking about the right sort of line, or have I started thinking about this kind of line? I have started thinking about a green line. I'm so sorry. Right, a red line is totally different. A red line is a triangle inequality line, and we have to satisfy the triangle inequality. So the two bottom digits have to equal, have to better, their sum has to better the highest digit. And this time you've got A plus B versus C, A plus B versus D, A plus C versus D, and B plus C versus D. So again, we can't ever use 1. And therefore, this line doesn't use 1. And in this box, the 1 is in one of those cells. Now, if we tried to use 2, I think we run into a problem because the next lowest digit is 3. And then you'd have to go up to 4 so that you didn't exceed it. But as soon as you put in another digit, 2 plus 3 are equaling that other digit. And they've got to be more. So if you didn't put in 3 as the next digit, if you put in 4, oh, I see. Then you have a 5. Yeah, there's always going to be a difference of 2 between B and D because there's 2 steps up the imaginary Thermo. So 2 is just not available. That's how to look at it. Right. So 2 is not available for this line, and therefore 2 in this box is now in one of those cells. And now I can do some Sudoku and put a 3 here because 1 and 2 are seeing that 3. Is that going to clear some fog for me? No, no chance. However, these are on the same line, so they're not 3. So this is 3, and that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, clearing up the fog and showing I'm on the right track. Oh, yes. Now, can 3 be? 3 is on this line because one of those is a 3. So there we go. So the 4-cell red line starts with a 3. Now we can't have a gap of 3 between B and D on the line. And therefore, the other 3 digits on the line are really tight together. They're either 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, or 6, 7, 8. But do you know what? I think all of these lines work now. What am I doing? They're all tight together. 3, 4, 5, 6. Any 2 is more than, yeah. Okay, that line could be any of those. So we didn't really learn anything about it except that by Sudoku it's got a 3 on. Okay, now we got this line, and this is another of these red lines, and it can't have 1 or 2 on it. So how do we use that now? Where is this digit in column 2? Oh no, where are both of these digits in column 2? They're not there by Sudoku, and they're not on that line. So they're a 1-2 pair down here. Now, these lines are all possible, and there might be others. I was only working on the 3 lines. I mean, 4, 5, 6, 7 is possible. No, now we immediately go, where is 3 in this column? And it's on the line. So one of these is the identity of that line. There is a 3 on it somewhere, but we don't know which box it's in this time. For 4 to be on this line, it would have to be 3, 4, 5, 6. These digits would be 7, 8, 9. In fact, if that was 3, 4, 5, 6, this would be a 9, that would be 8, this would be 7. This line would have an 8 on it, and it would therefore have to have 5 on it. be 4, 8, 5. Goodness, I don't know what to do with this. Right. I mean, this is a fascinating puzzle. I am, of course, being gradually led by the nose to the maths and to understanding it. I think 3 is in one of these cells. It's one of these groups. What do I do with that information? I've placed 3 there and there. Oh, my aid memoirs are looking a bit silly and limp, aren't they? This is either a 5-8 or a 6-9 pair. Can I use that? I don't think so. I mean, does this group have a 4 on it? This is either 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I tell you which one I can rule out is 3, 6, 7, 8, because that would be a 4, 5, 9 triple and break this cell. So this one is not 3, 6, 7, 8. If it was 3, 5, 6, 7, that would be 8 or 9. I don't know what that does. If it was 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 8, 7, I kind of feel there might be something wrong with that. I don't know what it is. Oh, good grief. 1 and 2 are in these cells. So that one, which is in one of those, is there. This one, which is in one of those, is in one of these two. I don't feel that's very useful. 7 in box 1 is in one of those two cells because it's not pencil marked in any of those. So 7 is ruled out of here. Oh my goodness! So it can't be any of those, and it must be 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I didn't see that coming, as is fairly clear. Now 6 in box 1 has to be in one of those, and now we know it's this combo of 1, 2, 3, 6, 9. And these don't have a 9 in. They're 5 and 4. This is a 7, 8 pair now. With 3, 4, 5, 6 there. These digits are from 1, 2, 9. That's a triple in the box. There's no 9 in these cells. It's either 4 or 5 that's missing on this red and also on this one. So 9 is on both of them. Now, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I know, I'm just listing numbers. Oh, what can this not be now? It can't be 4, 5, 6, or that would be broken. Didn't I say earlier it couldn't be 3, 5, 6, 7? No, I said it couldn't be 3, 6, 7, 8. And that would be now because it breaks this cell. It was earlier because that made this 4, 5, 9 and broke that. But anyway, 3, 6, 7, 8 breaks this cell. So this is either 3, 5, 6, 7 or 3, 7, 8, 9. And we've got a 7 on it now. And now this digit is not a 7. This is an 8. Go on, clear some fog. It didn't. Cruel. No, but hang on. Now this can't be 3, 7, 8, 9 because of the 8. So it's 3, 5, 6, 7. Extraordinary. Extraordinary puzzle. Extraordinary times. That's a 9. That's a 4. That's going to finish most of this box. I cleared some fog. I'm going to have to move my aid memoirs. I don't really want to lose them at this point. Maybe I will. Oh, this is a 4-cell green line. I'm going to remove the aid memoirs because, they're just getting in the way. Hopefully, I've learned some lessons about how to use the rule. I mean, we'll see. I doubt it. 5, 9, 6, 3 have to be in these cells by Sudoku. Now, let's think about this. It's a 4-cell green line. Now, on the green lines, we have to have low digits and then jumps. But this is interesting because it can't have 3 on it and it can't have both 1 and 2. So I'm going to aid memoir here. It can have a 1 potentially. The next highest digit is 4. Well, it can never have a 1 because on this green line, this is what we learned earlier. Let me just check I'm doing the right sort of line. No, I'm not. I'm thinking about red line because I'm a muppet. So on a green line, we need the bottom 2 right. 1 and 4, if they're the 2 smallest digits, the next digit has to equal 1 and 4 and be 5. And then the final digit, we've got to look at the 4-5 case, the BCD case. We're going to need 9. So that's what this line is made up of. Let me just check that that's the rule. Any 3, the 2 smaller is less than or equal to the largest digit. Yeah, it's going to have to be 1, 4, 5, 9. We can't even experiment with the 2 because as soon as we use 4 as the next digit, we get up to 6 and then the final digit would have to be a 10 by adding the 6 and the 4. So this is what we're getting on this line, a 1, 4, 5, 9 line. And this digit has become a 2 now. And that's a 1 and that's a 2. And we now know there's no 4 on this line. I could have done this a while ago. And there's no 5 on this line. And this digit is a 1. Oh, and there we go. There's a full set of cricket stumps virtually in the middle. Oh, what's going on with these then? Okay, so the green line, I should have learned a bit by now, shouldn't I? I'm much better still at Sudoku. So, listen, if you were to put 2 and 3 on the same one of these lines, the other one would start with, oh no, hang on. What is definitely in use here? Not necessarily 1. 4 and 5 are in use in this box. So we've still got possibly the digit 1, but also the digits 2 and 3 to play with here, to conjure with. But we cannot leave, I don't know what we can do. I think we can do all sorts. Four and 5 have been used here. As long as we make the bottom 2 digits on each line. Okay, what minimal digits have we got left? We've got 2 and 3 definitely available. I suppose we've got these digits left. 2 and 3 are definitely available. 6, 7, 8. And either 9 or 1. If we were to use 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 on these lines, I've got a feeling that we do not get 2 pairs where A and B add up to C or less twice. So we can't use 6, 7, 8 and 9, any 3 of 6, 7, 8, 9 on one line, because 2 of them add up to more than the other. So we must, if we were using 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, we would have to split them out into, this is my aide memoire area now, into 2 in one line and 3 in the other. And then the minimum that you could add the 2 to is a 6. So you could make one line 2, 6, 8, but 3, 7, 9 doesn't satisfy the rule. Yeah, the problem is that the gap between 6 and 9 is 3. And even though you don't have to I don't know. I can't work it out by gaps. I can just work it out by working out that is illegal because this won't work. Also, if you started with 279, the other would be 368, which works even less, or fails by the same amount, perhaps. But there is no way to make this combination of digits work on these two lines. I'm reduced to these generic terms like making it work because I just can't trust myself to, to list out A plus B equals greater or less than C anagrams. Equations. Anyway, since 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 don't work, 1 does not appear in these cells. It must be on these green lines. Therefore, this digit is a 1. That might clear some fog if I was lucky. No, it would have had to be very lucky. This is a 9. Ah, that clears fog. So it's the same conclusion. Okay, right, we'll get rid of those. Now, 4, 5, 9. Now what I'm thinking, obviously we're using 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. And I mean, there's loads of trios that work. Yes, we have to get 2 digits out of 876 have to be on one of these lines. Can't be all 3. And if it was 8, 7, they'd have to be with a 1, but 2, 3, 6 is fine. If they were 8, 6, they'd have to be with 1 or 2, but whatever 7 and 3 go with, that's fine. And if they were 7, 6, they'd have to go with 1, but 2, 3, 8 is fine. So this is very much yet to be resolved. Now we're getting into 3-cell red lines, and the digits we have for this box are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, but there's a double overlap here. And this time we're finding 3 digits. We're adding the bottom 2, we're adding A and B, gives more than C. I don't think 9 can be in use there, can it? Because any A and B would give 9. So 9 can't appear on these lines. I'm going to put a 9 in the puzzle there. So we're using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here. If 5 is on one of these lines, that's quite weird. Yeah, it could be, couldn't it? It could even be in an overlap. I think that may be all we can do at the moment. Which would be disappointing because I think we've probably still got to attempt something else in this. I'm just looking at the Sudoku of the rest of the puzzle because there may be things that I just haven't cottoned onto in the Sudoku, and it would be a waste not to try and think of them before I get to this group. Let's take 9 out of that. This is my aide-memoire for these cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we can't use 1 because the thing always fails. 1 plus B equals C. So that's where 1 goes. Okay. So now 1's not on this line. It's on this one. Now that's not conclusive enough. Our aide-memoire says 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all being used on these 2 lines. But as long as 2, 3, 5 is not a line, is not a red line, that's okay. So 2, 3, 5 is not allowed to be a red line. So both of the red lines have to have the digit 4 on. That's so strange, but it's definitely true. So 4 is in one of these cells because it's an overlap. That's so peculiar. Right, these are from 2, 3, 5. And now 4 in this column, I can just place it. Please clear fog. It didn't. That's not 4. This is 7 or 8 because it can't be 5 or 6. Now, what about this group? They can't use 2 and 3 because one of those must be in use down here. So this group can only use 1 out of 2 and 3, and therefore the distance between B and C must be that distance. So I think they have to be 2, 6, 8 to allow this to function. Then these digits are going to be 1, 3, 7, which is a perfectly valid line. These cells are a 3, 5 pair. These cells are a 2, 4 pair. That is an unnecessary aide-memoire anymore. I think this is right, because now these lines are going to be a 2, 3, 4, which is a perfectly valid red line, and a 2, 4, 5, which is also. That is correct for green. That is correct for green. Okay, I'm going to fill in digits now, and we're going to clear some fog somewhere. 7, 8. Oh, I was hoping it was in one of those two. Oh, I didn't clear fog. Oh, that is frustrating. These can't have 7 in. These are 1, 2, 7 now. I mean, there's no difference between those two lines. They're not going to disambiguate these digits. Oh, the 1 there does a 2 down here, and that puts 1 here. There we go. Oh, my goodness. 4 more red lines have appeared under 6 cells. Right, 2 is in this group. Now, the rule here for red is that the distance between B and C on this line of 3, the highest line of these reds, it's got a 2. The distance between the other 2 is only 2. It's not. No, the distance between the other 2 is 1. That is the point. The distance between the other 2 cells is 1. So the other 2 are consecutive. Well, I can't use 6 or 7, but it could be 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 5, or 2, 8, 9 for the top red line. You guessed it. It's aide-memoire time again. 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 5, or 2, 8, 9. Now the next line down, if it had a 2 on and one of those digits, the other digit would also have to be consecutive. Oh, that's not a 1. Just seen that looking across. Now, I think there is a situation. It doesn't mean that's a 2 necessarily. There is a situation in which that works. And that is, if this was a 2, 3, 4 line, but the 2, 4 were here and this became 5, I do think that works. We do still have to put a 3 in this column. Now, if we were to put it here, I don't know, this is very difficult to figure out. I mean, the painful thing is, I know I'm thinking along the right lines. I'm just doing it a lot slower than than sensible mathematicians would. But I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. I'm going to persevere and try and understand the maths as we go. 2 is in this group. That was Sudoku, and it's on the first line. And the other 2 digits have to be consecutive, therefore. So if 3 was in this group, the other 2 digits would have to be within 2 of each other. Well, no, let's just think through what we get. If this is 2, 3, 4, the first instance, these are 5, 8, 9. That's perfectly valid. There's no problem with that. If this is 2, 4, 5, these are 3, 8, 9. And if they're 2, 8, 9, these are 3, 4, 5. And I don't know, that's very disappointing. This bottom red line is definitely going to work for anything. I can't make a ruling based on that. So it's these middly red lines. Oh my goodness. They're the deciders. We know there's a 2 here. Oh, maybe 2, 8, 9 or 2, 4, 5 fails one of these. If that was 2, 4, 5. This is 3, 6, 7. That's 8, 9. I don't know. It doesn't feel like there's a breakage in this. It's got to be about these lines. I mean, they've only just been revealed, but it's got to be about them. Right. 2, 3, 4 at the top. We'd leave 5, 8, 9 down below, and we'd have groups that used. We couldn't use a 2 and digits from. We could use a 2, 8, 9 actually. Ah. Okay. If it was 2, 3, 4 with 5, 8, 9 below, this digit couldn't be 8 or 9 because the second line in this group would fail here with 2 digits from 2, 3, 4 and an 8 or a 9. So this digit in that case would have to be 5. And if it was 2, 4, 5, then very similarly, this digit can never be 9 or 8. Could it be 8 if that was a 4, 5 pair here? Maybe it could. That's incredibly annoying. But this digit can never be 9. That one can never be 9 by Sudoku. Can it really be 8? With a 4, 5 pair here and a 2 here. That's okay for 2, 4, 5. It's okay for 4, 5, 8 and for 5, 8, 9. What would we have in this group? That's the 4, 5, 8 group. What would we have in this group? No, that's the 4, 5, 8 group. This. Hang on. I'm imagining 2, 4, 5 on the top side. Oh, and 3, 8, 9 below. Oh, hang on. So if we start again with 2, 3, 4, in this 5, 8, 9 group, that has to be a 5. So if we then go to 2, 4, 5, these are 3, 8, 9. And this one, I want to say it has to be 3. No, then there's a problem with this line. If that was a 3, it would be going with 2, 4, or 5, making a 9 here. That's illegal. So this can't be 3. Oh, well, that's interesting. So if this is 2, 4, 5, it has to be 4, 5 here and an 8 here. And this would be the 9. Okay. Okay, now the case I have to try and dismiss, if I possibly can, is 2, 8, 9 here. And that would leave 3, 4, 5 down here, which is a valid line in its own right. But 2, 8, 9 here wouldn't allow 8 or 9 to be there. Oh no, hang on. It's the same problem with 4 plus 5, 4, 5, 8 is a legal line. Oh, it's so difficult to figure this out. 4, 5, 8 is a legal line. So if we had 8 there, I'm saying, what if this was a 2, 8, 9 triple, and then we've got 3, 4, 5 down here, and I think there might be a problem with this. 3, 4, 5 down here. Sorry, there's a noise from the next room that I'm going to have to switch off. So bear with me one moment. Sorry about that. Now, I was looking at 2, 8, 9 here. Now, surely these are false pencil marks. I'll come back to that. I'm going to rule out 289 here because these two digits would be from 289 and these would be from 345 in that situation. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. If it was a 289 up here, this combo. Now, what would those two digits be? If they were 2 and 8, a 3, a 4, or a 5 here would fail this 3-cell line because the two little ones wouldn't add up higher than the big one. So you'd have to make those an 8-9 pair. But then, there is, I thought it failed necessarily on this line now. But in fact, if those were 4, 5 adding up to 8 there, then it does work. Oh, that is so annoying. So the only way this combo would work is 2, 9, 8, a 4, 5 pair, and then 3. That's incredibly annoying because there are ways for both the other combinations to work, I think. If this was 2, 4, 5, you've got 3, 8, 9 coming in down here. So if this was 2, 4, 5, what happens here? We can't use the 8 or 9. Oh, again, with 4, 5 there, you could have an 8 here. Couldn't then have a 3. It would have to go 8, 9, 3. This would be a 4, 5 pair, and that would be 2. Now, there is an alternative. No, I was thinking about the alternative of putting 3 here, but that would go with an 8 or 9 below and a small digit above. That wouldn't work. Right. So maybe that's narrowed down to this. Now, 2, 3, 4 at the top and 5, 8, 9 at the bottom. You've got the problem on this group. If you had 8 with any two of those smaller digits, well, 5 here, it would have to be 4 here, wouldn't it? Well, you could never have 2 here. This is the point. The 2 is going to have to be here. This is the point. You can never put the 2 here or here, because something will fail. Because you can't have 3 here because of the 5, 3, 8 problem. Oh my goodness. I mean, that is wildly complicated, but I think it's true. This is going to be a 2. Neither of these can be the 2. Now, I have not got all the possibilities marked, but I know that that's the 2, and I think I know that this is the 3 as well. So let me just reflex that slightly. No, I don't, because I still haven't ruled out this being a 3-4 pair here. I think that's right. But this being a 3-4 pair, as long as this was a 5, and as long as you had 4, 5, 9, no, 4, 5, 8. Oh, you can't have that because 9 would clash. Wow, you can't have a 4, 5 pair here now. And it's because you'd have to have a pair that added up to a 5, 4 pair that added up to more than this digit, which couldn't be 9. Yeah, you can't do the 4, 5 pair up there. I'm not sure I've ruled out the others. No, I have though, because if that was a 3, 4 pair, you couldn't have 8 or 9 here. You'd have to have, oh, this is what I'm saying though, 3, 4, then 5, 9, 8. Now, has anything failed there? Yes, that line has failed. Okay, so it's not that either. That's good. It's not that yellow one. It's this. It's a 2, 8, 9 pair. This is so surprising to me. And then this digit compared to these two, it's going to have to be 8 with a 5, 4 pair beneath it. And this digit is therefore 3. And there's the fog clearance. Goodbye, aide-memoire. Now, I don't think the order of those matters to these lines. 298 works. 984 or 985 is fine. 845, we know it works. This is the edge case that was really important. And 345 is all right. Okay, let's do some Sudoku. No 3 there. No 8 or 9 here. Not much other Sudoku. Oh no, that's a 4-5 pair. There is more Sudoku to do. Get 4 out of those. This is a 6, 7, 8, 9 quad. Now, oh right, we're back to 5-cell lines, which we learned about back at the beginning of the puzzle. And didn't they have to have 1, 2, 3 in? Or is that me making it up? This is where the distance between C and D and between D and E, well, the distance between C and D has to be no more than B. Yeah, I did aide-memoire these at some point here, didn't I? So, little green aide-memoire. They are 1, 2, 3, I think, have to be in them. And then we worked out it was either 5. Well, no, we ended up with 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, didn't we? And 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 as our two possibilities, but also 1, 2, 3, 5, 9 worked because the gaps are big enough. So this doesn't, it uses 1, 2, and 3. I know where the 1 goes and the 2 and 3 go there by Sudoku now. That's really helpful. Now, this pair doesn't have a 9, so it's got to be a 5, 8 pair. There we go. I think I've remembered the cases, etc. Now, 2, 3 are looking at these cells. So we get 5, 4, 2, 3. The 5, 8 pair are looking at these two and making them a 6, 7 pair. Oh, it's not solving itself, is it? 1 doesn't go there. I mean, the one thing we know consistently throughout this puzzle is position along an individual line is not a feature of the puzzle. Like anything can be anywhere on a line. Right, these digits are 4, 6, 7, 9. That one's not 9, that one's not 4. These can't be 6 or 7 in this row either, so that is a 4. Oh, I don't like this row. This row's gone wrong. There is not room for a 4 and a 5 in it. Oh no, what have I done wrong? It must be this last line that I was pencil marking. It's got to be. So I must have not remembered all the correct cases, or maybe they were limited up here for some reason that I had forgotten when I was doing this. 1, 2, 4 doesn't work because then you have to go 6 by using the 2 as the distance between 2 and 4, and then you have to do 10 by using the 4. So they have to have 1, 2, and 3 on. So this bit of the line is right. Oh, it's 5, 8. I thought the other two cells had to be 5, 8, 5, 9, or 6, 9. I've got this 1 to cope with. So I've got to be wrong. I've got to be wrong about this. That's so annoying. What have I misremembered? So I thought I had remembered the rules. How could we begin 1, 2, 4? Because I'm now thinking we can't begin 1, 2, 3 because we'd have to put 1 there and a 2, 3 pair here. And this group of 5 cells would break. That's too many 2, 3, 4, 5s. I mean, I'm sure they're right over this side. Well, I was sure. Okay, so if we started with 1, 2, 4, I believe then we'd have to have 6 as D. And then you couldn't have an E. I could have filled these in wrong, but it felt so right. Oh, Mark, this is so annoying. 1, 1, 3, 4 is just not going to work. Because then the gap is much too big. 1, 2, 3. And then you add together the maximum pair, 5 or 6 next. Then you add the maximum pair again, 8 or 9. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. I still want to do it, but 2, 3 here doesn't work. Oh, what? I've forgotten some case. Oh, no, I'm not doing the wrong type of line, am I? No, I'm not this time. I was so confident in everything else. Especially this 298453, and then something I did here revealed the green. What was that? I mean, surely I could rely on the dynamic fog clearance to say I was right up to that point. That was here when I put the 3 in. And the 9 and 8 are, I mean, I don't know. Is that really not right? Could this begin 2, 3, 4? What would happen with that? No, then you'd have to go 7, 11. That's nonsense. I'm absolutely at a loss now. One here and a 2, 3 pair. But that doesn't work straight away. Well, have I got this the wrong way around? Could this be 2, 4, 5 on the top end and 3, 9, 8 below? Okay, we'll go back to that. Have I really messed that up badly? Maybe that was in the candidates that I worked out would work. Two, 4, 5 on the top end, then an 8, so that the 4, 5 thing works, then a 9, and then a 3. Yeah, you see, that must be it. And that is allowed now because it's not going to break this line. And it was that 3 that did it. That 3 cleared this fog. So that was going to work whether this was a 4, 5 and this was an 8, 9 or the other way round. Well, I'm sorry, I wasn't clever enough for this puzzle, but I'm going to soldier on from here. Now I still know this line has 1, 2, 3 on, so now I can use them, 1 and a 2, 3 pair. And now I can do, now I know these are 5, 8 anyway. I'm going to just do it by Sudoku. We've got 4, 5 there and 3, 2. I didn't know the order of those based on these 2 lines or all 3 of them. I didn't, but I did know the order of 8 and 9. That's okay. Okay, these are, we need a 4 in the bottom row. There it is. And we can remove 8 from the 2 cells. These are 6, 7, 9. Now, what have we got? What's the Sudoku here? 8 and 9 have come out of those cells. This is a 4, 6, 7 triple. That's a 5. And these don't have 6 and 7 in or 4. That's an 8-9 pair. Okay, so in this row, the only place for 4 is now here. And this is not a 9, so the only place for 8 in row 8 is there. And here we go, the fog has cleared. So I've got there in the end. I'm not feeling proud of myself. Please don't mock. 1 there, because this is a bit raw now. I sort of had it there. Maybe the interruption didn't help. Clutching at straws to blame. Okay, now we've got more lines. Come on. This one, it's a green one. It needs 1, 2, and 3 on it. So the 1, 2 are there. 3 is up here. That digit becomes a 7. Oh, we're never going to get another bit of fog clearance to tell me anything. That sees 3 and 7. That's a 6. This is an 8. And that's important because now 8's not on this line and 9 is. But we don't know. Yes, we do know if it's 6 or 5. It's 5. 3, 5, 9. That's a 4. 3, 5, 9, 1, 2. Okay, these digits are 4, 6, 7, 8. Now we've got a green line crossing a red line. The red line, well, it's almost certain to work with that being a 1 or a 2. The green line, we have to stop. If we had, I don't know, I want to do more Sudoku before I try and figure them out. I mean, these lines are only going to be resolved by these rows by that red. But the green's going to resolve everything else, so I do have to figure it out. I can't. There's no excuse. There's no footling around. So the green line. If I was to put 3 on it, I couldn't put 4 on it. Would it work fine if I don't put 3 on, as long as I can't make it 4, 5, 9? So the red line. Okay, no, we've got to do some combinatorial Sudoku. So something here must be dictating what's on the line. So are there any digits not pencil marked here? No. That's a bit weird. How on earth am I meant to do it? Basically, these 2 lines are all I now have to disambiguate the puzzle. I suppose 5 and 8 can't both be on this line. Nor can 2 and 3. I mean, that they're not trying to be. That's not. So it's this one maybe. What can't we put on that together? 2 and 6. Oh, this is red, though. Red is the one where... Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I've been thinking about these lines again the wrong way around. Red is the one where the low digit has to be higher than the difference between the top digits. So that has to be a 2. And these have to be consecutive. So they don't involve 4, and they do involve 7. And that's a 1, and these don't have a 7 in. Right, 2 and 7 are in this row. So that sorts out that. And that. Now, probably the rest of the row disambiguates. No, too hopeful. 6 can't be there, though. This is a 7-8 pair now. That's going to do the rest of the row. 9-8, 9-5, 4-5. Okay, that did do the rest of the row. Now, this line, it's a green line, so the bottom 2 digits, the minimum we can have are 3 and 4, and if we didn't have a 3 here, then the minimum 2 digits are 4 and 5 there, and the whole line won't work because we can't put 9 in the middle. So we have to have 3 there. That's going to do a bit of Sudoku. We can't use 6 here because we don't have a 9 available there. So that's it. I've done the digits I can do based on these 2 lines. I'm hoping the rest of the puzzle resolves because there's no fog to clear. I'm going to put in a 3 there. This can't be 4. This can't be 6. There's 8. 8 in this column has only got the top cell where it can go. Can't be 6. I've got a 5-9 pair in this column, so that's 4 and that's 8. That is not allowed to be 8. That's not allowed to be 7. That can't be sorry, that has to be 1. That's 7. The 5 in this column is in box 6. That's a 5 in the corner. These top cells are all done. And we're going to stumble over the finish line, clutching on to the survivors. There we go. I found that very difficult indeed. It's a fascinating puzzle, but it makes the mathematical part of my brain work in ways that it doesn't like doing. I'm sorry I messed up on this line. It was hard. These 4 lines and working out that it was 2 at the top and 3 at the bottom, but that the 4, 5 and the 8, 9 could be in any combination there. That wasn't easy and I messed it up, but got there in the end thanks to the fog. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching and bye for now.